I've had quite a few people in the last week ask me for an update on the Sorghum Sudangrass that we crimped and tarped here in this plot behind me in the dream garden. So I figured today was a good day to give an update on that, take a look at that, see how it's going, and talk about our progress getting ready for fall planting. And I guess we'll go ahead and maybe check out some of these other plots in the dream garden as well, see what we got going on there as we're getting into fall slowly but surely. The mornings are cooling off a little bit, but it's still blazing hot here in the afternoon. So let's see what we got going on. So if you've seen that previous video, this is where we had a nice big stand of Sorghum Sudangrass, and we took our riding mower, instead of cutting it because it was pretty thick, we just lowered the deck all the way down, didn't turn the blades on, and just laid it over or crimped it. And then we put the tarp on top of it to let the tarp kill all of that vegetation. So let's see what it looks like. So we can see right there that that tarp did a good job of killing all that stuff there. Nice and dead, nice and broken down. Actually got some pretty good little soil moisture down there. It's not too dried, which is good. And so now we need to come in here with some compost. Now I know from experience, because I've done this at one of my other farms I'm working on, that if I come in here with a tiller, even though that Sorghum Sudangrass is dead, that stuff will just wrap around the tiller blades and cause me some trouble. So haven't really figured out quite how I'm gonna handle this. I think I'm gonna come in here with just a heavy layer of our chicken manure compost and just cover all that grass there and maybe re-tarp it or try to till it in with some of that compost in there. I haven't decided yet, but I can't just come in here and till it like it is, because all that dead Sorghum Sudangrass is just gonna wrap around the tiller. So we're gonna come in here with some heavy compost, probably put a couple inches or so on top, and then we're gonna go from there and kind of see what the next action is gonna be. Just to give you guys an idea of how well this Sorghum Sudangrass will grow back after it's been cut, take a look at this right here. So this is some of that's on the edge of that tarp, and I've actually mowed this with the lawnmower before. And so even when it's mowed close, this stuff will come back nice and pretty and green. So another strategy you can do, and we'll see another plot in a minute where we're gonna do that, is you can just mow it and it'll keep growing back and keep growing back, and just add more biomass to the soil every time you mow it. In this second plot here in the dream garden, we have got boo-koodles of Jambalaya okra. This is some that we planted with our Hoss garden seeder using the row marker. We did that several videos ago, a month or so ago, and this stuff is really producing. Now I haven't been picking it every other day. I've actually just been picking it about twice a week, but I've been getting loads and loads of okra off this stuff. Let me show you just how much okra this stuff is making. So on some of your older heirloom varieties of okra, you might just get 1 or 2 pods here up top every time you pick it. But on this hybrid Jambalaya okra, you can see we get lots and lots of pods up here. So I'll wait till these 2 here get a little longer, and by that time this guy will be about those size. And when we go through and pick this stuff right here, we'll get anywhere from 4 to 5 nice okra pods per plant. And when you have a plot like this with 10 30-foot rows, that means an entire heap of okra. Now this plot here is the one we've had our peppers and eggplant in since, you know, the spring, since we transplanted them. These guys are still kicking along. We've lost a few peppers here and there and lost a couple eggplant. You know, I've had to go out of town a little bit the last month or so, and it's just been hot and dry, and it's just been hard to keep these things watered. I've even had to overhead water them a little bit just to cool the leaves off some. But we're still getting some really good production here. Eggplants are still producing, peppers are still producing somewhat. So we'll just let this plot ride out until we get a frost come in and kill it. Still productive enough to justify leaving it there. Now back to the cover crop and stuff. So this plot here is full of Sunn hemp. Planted this stuff super thick. I like to kind of double the recommended planting rate and get it really thick. and this stuff needs to be cut down, and I'm working on getting it cut down. I tried to cut it down a little bit. It's a little too thick. I'm probably going to end up having to crimp it and try to get it down from there. But this right here is starting to flower. It's been dry around here, and I haven't been keeping the water on this stuff, and I want to show you what it looks like when it does flower. So this Sunn hemp's nice and thick, as you can see there, really dense patch. And then if we walk right over here, we've got some that's flowering. So it makes these nice little pretty yellow flowers. And even once the flowers make, you still got a few weeks there before it goes to seed. But you can just imagine if we let this entire plot here flower, how beautiful and pretty that would be. So if you have a big meadow area or a huge a big garden area at your house, and you want to plant some of this to work on the soil but also beautify the area, those nice pretty yellow flowers will do the trick. I'll show you over here. We tried to mow this a little bit, but our lawnmower couldn't really handle it. So I think what we're going to do is do like we did with that sorghum before, and we're just going to have to crimp this stuff, lay it down, put a tarp on it, let the tarp kill it, and then we can go from there. But we've got tons and tons of biomass in there. Just look how thick and dense that is. All just doing good work for that soil there. It's going to be some good soil for fall planting right here. The other spot we tarped when we did our last tarping video was this spot right here in the dream garden where we had some brown top millet planted, and that millet didn't get super tall, only about knee high. So we came in and we mowed it, and then we tarped the area. So let's take a look at what this looks like now that it's been tarped for about a month or so. All right, so there's our tarp. We look here where we got the tarp pulled back. All that millet has died off really nice there. Even got a little piece of nut grass there that looks just about dead. So this stuff is not near as thick as that Sorghum Sudangrass was. So as soon as I can get me a big load of compost, I'm just going to come in, put some compost down, and till this baby in. This will probably be the first plot I plant in as far as cool weather crops go for fall. So we'll pull this tarp back, put some compost on it, get it tilled in, and this should be ready to go. Pretty good soil here. Now, not only can we use the tarp in an established garden plot, but we can also use the silage tarp to create a new garden spot where it's just lawn or grass or whatever you want to call it. And that's what we're doing right here behind me here. You can see this real long, skinny piece of tarp I have here. So what I did is I took the tarp I had on my Sunn hemp way over there where we planted the fall corn. I drug it over here. I just folded it over several times. And we've got this little long skinny patch here where I'm going to plant me some blackberries. So come November or so, be the time to plant some thornless blackberries in this neck of the woods, and we're going to plant us a nice little 50-foot long row of them. I have some on one of the back gardens, but they're starting to decline in production a little bit for whatever reason. So we're going to plant us a new patch right here come November. Put us a nice little trellis on those guys. We'll have lots of blackberries come spring. And then the last plot in our dream garden I want to show you is where we had some Sorghum Sudangrass planted, and I just mowed this stuff down. So this stuff was about a little over waist high, gotten pretty thick, and if I would have let it get any taller, I wouldn't have been able to get in here with a mower. But I caught it just before it got too big, got here with a mower and mowed it down. Now I don't think I'm gonna go ahead and, I'm not gonna tarp this, I'm not gonna till it in. I'm gonna put a little bit of water on it because it's pretty dry around here. And then I'm gonna let this stuff just grow back. And I'm just gonna keep mowing it back until I get ready to use this plot. So once some of my transplants in the greenhouse get ready, I can come in here and till this up in no time and have it ready. Let me show you some of the biomass this stuff produces once it's mowed. We're looking here, we just mowed this stuff here with the push mower. I mean, we've got a lot of good green material here. Nice stuff. It's going to kind of give a mulch layer on that soil on top of it, and then those stems should start growing back pretty soon, giving a little water on them. So it's a good way just to feed our soil Give a nice little mat on top of it there, keep any new weeds from coming up, and just kind of keep this spot, you know, on pause until we're ready to use it for fall. And then finally, the last spot I wanted to show you today is in one of my bigger established gardens, kind of to the side of the dream garden, where we've got some more sorghum Sudangrass planted. But here I can show you what it looks like when it's at about the kind of ankle to calf high level. And this is a pretty big plot, my biggest plot I have. This plot here is about, I don't know, 40 by 60 or 80 or so. Pretty good sized plot. And this plot here, I'm just gonna go crazy with alliums this fall. So I'm gonna plant several different varieties of onions in here. I'm gonna plant leeks in here. I'm gonna plant shallots in here. I'm gonna plant elephant garlic in here. So this plot, we still have till the beginning of November before we do anything with it. But we've got this sorghum Sudangrass growing, just doing work on that soil. And we're just gonna keep mowing it until November, till we're ready to till it in and plant all those alliums. I want you to look how dense of a coverage you get from that sorghum Sudangrass. Even if there's a pigweed in there, it doesn't stand a chance with this thick stuff here. Now I did put it out there pretty thick. This big plot here, I put about half a 5-gallon bucket full of seed out here and watered it in real good. I wanted it to be real thick, and I'm going to come in here and I'm going to mow this stuff. I'm going to set the mower on high and I'm going to mow it, and it'll grow right back, and I'm going to mow it again, and I'll just mow it as many times as I need to. I don't want it to get much taller than this in this plot, because when I do go to turn over this plot, I want to be able to turn it over pretty fast. If you let this stuff get real thick, it can take a little longer to break down, but you can see that's good biomass, good green material for our soil there, and it's just beautiful to grow. You know, these cover crops do a lot of good things for your soil. They're also fun to grow. They're just pretty. Look out there and just see that nice expanse of cover crop. All right, so that's all I've got for you today. I hope you enjoyed the little quick tour of the dream garden to see how those tarps are doing their thing. Man, those tarps have really changed the game for us this summer and this fall with our cover crop growing. So hope you enjoyed that. Like I said, we're still on hold here for a little bit longer with the fall planting. It's still a little hot here, but we're gonna get there. We're getting close. I can feel a little bit of crispness in the air. Let me know what you got going on out there. If you already got fall stuff in the ground, maybe you live a little north of us and are fortunate to have a little cooler temperatures now. If you still got cover crops going on, tell me about that too. Just excited to hear what everyone's got going on late summer into fall. Hope you enjoyed this video. We'll see you guys next time. Tiger, what you doing in there? Get out of there. You hunting rats? Are there any rats in that cover crop? Get them out of there.